Ms. Baker, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Buckle up, because what you're about to witness is one of the most intense domestic violence cases we've ever covered. We've got a woman who slashed her boyfriend with a knife in a previous assault, and now she's back in court for allegedly attacking him again. This time pulling his hair, scratching, and beating him while he was asleep. They have 4 kids together. They've been together 10 years. And the judge is about to drop some of the hardest truths about parenting violence and what happens when kids witness abuse. But here's the twist. Instead of throwing a book at her, the judge makes a decision that will shock you. This isn't just about punishment. It's about breaking cycles, protecting children, and finding solutions that nobody saw coming. Trust me, you've never seen a judge handle a case quite like this.
On September 2nd, 2024, law enforcement officers were dispatched to a disturbance at a residence. The complainant stated that he was in the bedroom asleep until he was awakened by his hair being pulled, stating that he felt pain. The complainant stated that the defendant was on top of him while he was in the bed. The complainant also stated that the defendant began striking, scratching, and pulling on his hair with her hands, causing pain. The law enforcement officer observed several red scratch marks on the complainant's chest, rib, and lower stomach area, along with redness and bruising on his left arm near the armpit area. The complainant and the defendant in this case are dating with 4 children.
She has a prior aggravated assault against the same person, I see. What happened in that case? Is she knife, gun?
Looks like a car and knife. The defendant attempted to run the complainant over, went inside the apartment, grabbed a knife, pointed at the complainant, slashed the knife across his left arm, sustained minor cuts.
Hold up. Let's break down what we just heard. This isn't her first rodeo with violence against this same man. She has a prior aggravated assault where she allegedly tried to run him over with a car, then grabbed a knife and slashed his left arm. Now she's back for allegedly attacking him while he was sleeping, pulling his hair, scratching, hitting him while sitting on top of him in bed. The officers documented multiple scratch marks on his chest, ribs, and stomach, plus bruising on his arm. This is textbook escalating domestic violence. What started as an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon has now become another assault. And here's the kicker. They have 4 children together who are witnessing all of this. The judge immediately recognizes a danger. This pattern of violence is escalating, and with kids at home, this is a powder keg waiting to explode. When he says, "I'm going to make your bond so high you're going to spontaneously combust," he's not joking around. This is about protecting not just a victim, but those 4 innocent children caught in the middle.
Well, Ms. Baker, I'm finding there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now ordering you not to have any contact with this person whatsoever. Do you understand? I don't care that you have kids. You have a prior aggravated assault with this guy where you slashed him with a knife. No more contact with this person. Do you understand? I'm entering in what's called, well, let me see if there's a protective order already in place. There is. On the 3rd of this month, a protective order was issued in this case. I suggest you get to know it, because if you violate this protective order, the state can and will file additional charges. And then I'm telling you now, with your prior aggravated assault, if I find that you try to have contact with this person, I'm going to make your bond so high you're going to spontaneously combust. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Are you still living in the same place? Have you moved out?
We've been together 10 years. I have 4 kids. What she's reading is not what happened.
I know that there's 2 sides to the story, ma'am, but what scares me is that your trigger temper is what scares me. I get that there's another side to the story, and I get that you may have issues as well, and I don't know what happened to garner what happened in this case. But what I'm trying to do is keep you guys separated so that it doesn't escalate to something more serious.
This moment right here is crucial. Miss Baker tries to defend herself, saying what she's reading is not what happened, but the judge cuts through it immediately. Your trigger temper is what scares me. He's not interested in the he said, she said. He's looking at the pattern. Think about this. They've been together 10 years, have 4 kids, and are still living together despite the protective order. They share a car. Both work full-time. She works 7 days, he works 6. And now the judge has to figure out what to do with a family that's clearly dysfunctional but completely intertwined. The judge faces an impossible decision. Do you separate them completely and potentially harm the children who need both parents? Or do you risk another violent incident by allowing contact? This is the harsh reality of domestic violence cases. There's rarely a perfect solution. The judge knows that whatever decision he makes will have massive consequences for not just the adults, but those 4 innocent kids.
I see that you do work. You have 4 kids. Do you have custody of the kids now? Who has possession of the kids?
We've been together 10 years. We stay together. We share a car together. I work 7 days. He works 6 days.
Yeah, I'm not giving you, no, you cannot have contact with this person. I'm trying to decide whether to give you a lawyer, ma'am. That's why I'm asking this, because I know that you have 4 kids and it's probably really tough and expensive as it is. Would you like to apply for an appointed lawyer, ma'am? Your other option is you can go hire
I don't have money for a lawyer.
Ma'am, I'm offering it to you now. I mean, I get it that, I'm trying to alleviate the stress on you now because I know that with the stress of having this case, number one, the stress of having 4 kids and then having to go out and hire a lawyer when money's tight, it adds just unneeded stress. And I'm trying to help you out with that. Stephen, do you mind giving an application, please? I'm going to give you an application now. Or you know what? Actually, I already have it. So don't even worry about it. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box. I'll get your bond conditions. I'm going to ask you, ma'am, we need you to sign these bond conditions. After that, I'll find you a lawyer to speak to. Okay? Please. Yeah, no contact, no weapons for now. Thank you so much for coming. She's charged with the assault, and it worries me putting you guys together because I don't want you to get the brunt of the attack every time things get hot, anytime she gets upset, and it scares me. And initially, I didn't want to do, I wanted to do a no contact order, but at the end of the day, who suffers the most? Right. The kids are the ones that suffer because kids need their mom. These are things that you have to consider. The other thing that you have to consider is this, is that, you know what? The kids are like flowers, and they need love. They need nurturing. They need guidance. And if they see violence in a house, they're going to think it's okay. That child, instead of being a flower and growing with beautiful petals, it's going to grow sideways and backwards. Just kids emulate mothers and fathers. And if they see the fighting, if they see the knives, if they see they're going to do the exact same thing and they're going to think it's okay. That's why we have so much violence.
This is where the judge transforms from a legal authority into a life coach. His children are like flowers analogy is profound. He's explaining generational trauma in the simplest terms. Kids who witness violence grow sideways and backwards instead of blooming properly. He's addressing the boyfriend directly, saying, I don't want to get the brunt of the attack, but then pivots to the deeper issue. The children are the real victims here. Kids emulate mothers and fathers. If they see the fighting, if they see the knives, they're going to do the exact same thing and think it's okay. This judge understands that breaking the cycle of violence isn't just about punishing the offender. It's about protecting the next generation from learning that violence is normal. He's trying to save not just this family, but potentially prevent these 4 kids from becoming future defendants in his courtroom. That's the long game he's playing here.
So my question is this, is that what are we going to do next time you get upset? Because it's going to happen. You can't say you're not going to get upset. How do we handle it so that there's no more violence?
I can't wait. Like,
And the thing, ma'am, Miss Baker, if you deny it, it's probably about the worst thing because you have to confront it. You have to do it head on because that's how it stops. And that's how you cure it. You confront it head on, you recognize it, and you say, look, you know, kids suck. They're so freaking hard. They're expensive. They argue. They stink. Kids suck. And they're really difficult. But when you treat them right, they come back and they pay it forward to you tenfold because someone's got to take care of you when you're old. And if they hate you because you acted like an a-hole when they were kids, they're never going to be there for you. That's why it's you treat them with love and respect now for the future. Because I'll tell you what, when you have a kid and when they when they get to their teenage years and they see the way you've been, they're going to bring it back to you tenfold. And hell has no fury like an 18-year-old that's hell on wheels because they can make your life a living hell. And you think it's bad now? That you see the guy in Georgia, the guy that bought the kid the gun and shut up all those people in the school. What do you think they did? Now in today's society, they're not just going after kids. They're going after parents who are unable to recognize how dangerous their children are. The kid in the Santa Fe that gunned down all those people now over there, Dimitri Bergozis or something. All those families came back and sued the parents for letting him have access to a gun. So now what I'm trying to impart to you is that if you are unable to control yourself and your kids become like you and they go out there and create a public danger, all those people, they're not going to come after you. And you think it's expensive, you think it sucks now, wait till that happens.
Wow. The judge just connected domestic violence to school shootings. He's referencing the Georgia case where a parent bought their child a gun and the Santa Fe shooting where families sued the parents. His point? If you can't control yourself and your kids learn violence from you, you could be held responsible for what they do in the future. This is next level accountability. He's not just talking about the immediate danger. He's warning them that in today's society, parents are being held legally and financially responsible for their children's violent actions. All those people, they're not going to come after the kids. They're going to come after you. He's painting a terrifying but realistic picture. Your violence today could lead to your child committing violence tomorrow, and you could face lawsuits, criminal charges, and financial ruin. The judge is using fear as a teaching tool, showing them that the consequences of their actions extend far beyond this courtroom and could destroy their entire family's future.
Are you okay with contact?
Yes.
How can we handle and what do we do if you guys start butting heads again? What are we supposed to do so that she doesn't pick up a new? I'm going to tell you, you pick up a new case. How do we handle it?
I think it's just a misunderstanding.
It's not, though. They're choices. A misunderstanding, a mistake is I left my umbrella at home, even though I knew it was going to rain. I left my glass case here at home and I didn't bring it home. That's a mistake. These are choices. They're not mistakes. They're not misunderstandings. They're choices. And they're bad choices because you're here when you don't want to be here. You're spending money that you already don't have. I'm okay with you having contact, Ms. Baker, with him. But before that happens, I need to know that we have a plan in place in the event that you get upset so that either the kids don't get it or, importantly, he doesn't get it either. You need to come up with something for me, showing me how we're going to handle if times get stressful. And we have to figure something out. Just saying, I don't know what I'm going to do. That's not, we need a game plan. Perhaps you start doing anger management classes at home on your own so you can learn how to cope with the anger. That would be something. I don't know.
Exercise, very spiritual.
Exercise is great. I run my happy ass 4 miles every day because I have 4 kids too. And my kids are really difficult. And it would really be easy for me to beat them into submission. But for me to work my aggression out, I run every single day.
This judge just got real personal. He admits he has 4 kids too. They're really difficult. And it would be really easy to beat them into submission. But instead, he runs 4 miles every day to work out his aggression. He doesn't like it. It's not easy, but he does IT because that's what responsible parenting looks like. Then comes a shocking decision. He's going to allow contact between them. After everything, the knife attack, the sleeping assault, the protective order, he's given them a chance to stay together. But there's a catch. Miss Baker must complete anger management classes 3 times a week and provide a daily log proving she's doing it. Why? Because he recognizes that completely separating this family might do more harm than good. The kids need their mother. Both parents work full-time, and they share everything. So instead of the nuclear option, he's choosing rehabilitation with strict accountability. If she fails to do the anger management or violates any conditions, her bond gets revoked immediately. This is progressive justice, focusing on fixing the problem rather than just punishing it.
No, and I get it, but here's what I would like. I think that we should do some kind of online anger management class 3 times a week. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And then as long as you can do that, then I'll allow you guys to have contact. No threatening, harassing, or abusive contact. You need to understand what is threatening or harassing. It's not what you think. I could care less what you think. It's how he perceives. So can conduct alone, if I go like this, is that threatening, harassing? It is. And it can violate this quarter. So you okay with it? There is still a protective order in place. So she cannot threaten, harass, anything. If she does, she goes back into custody. All right, so we'll do 30 days.
Yes, sir.
And I want you to do anger management 3 times a week online.
Is it a time for it?
No.
No, okay.
But just, I want a sheet of paper written down showing, date, time, where you did it so that we can verify it. And I want a daily log of it 3 times a week that you've done anger management classes. And as long as you can do that, then we will allow contact. And then I'm going to have Mr. D get it to me. And I'm telling you now, if you don't, because I'm making that a condition of your bond, I'm going to revoke your bond. Okay.
What we just witnessed was a masterclass in judicial wisdom and practical justice. Miss Baker came before the court with a second assault charge against the same victim, a man she previously slashed with a knife. They have 4 children together, 10 years of history, and a completely intertwined life. Instead of simply enforcing the protective order and separating the family, the judge recognized a harder truth. Sometimes keeping families apart does more damage than finding ways to help them heal together. He made the controversial but compassionate decision to allow supervised contact with strict conditions. The requirements: 3 anger management classes per week with daily documentation, 1 slip-up, 1 missed class, 1 act of violence, and she's in custody with a bond so high she'll spontaneously combust. The judge shared his own struggles as a parent of 4, even admitting he runs 4 miles daily to manage his own stress and anger. But the most powerful moment was his warning about generational violence and parental accountability, referencing school shootings where parents are now being held responsible for their children's actions. His message was clear. Your violence today becomes your children's violence tomorrow, and in today's world, you will pay the price. This case shows us that justice isn't always about punishment. Sometimes it's about breaking cycles, protecting children, and giving families the tools to heal rather than just tearing them apart. If this case opened your eyes to the complexities of domestic violence and family court, Smash that like button right now. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the judge made the right call allowing contact? And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns that show how real justice works. Remember, every choice you make affects not just you, but your children's future too. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.